Yo, ViivviiX here with episode 2 of Just a Thought. Today we are going through my Anime Compendium, aka all anime I've watched, seen, been exposed to, or have sitting on my unneedingly long watch list.
So let's get into this. You spend 4 hours a day watching NBA highlights, which is about 12 episodes of anime, considering that each anime episode averages around 20 minutes per episode. Now let's do 12 times 7 since there's 7 days in a week. That's 84 episodes of anime in 1 week. Can I go further? Yeah, go ahead. Let's do 84 times 4 since it's 4 weeks in 1 month. That's 336 episodes of anime in 1 month. Now let's do 336 times 12. That's 4,032 episodes of anime in 1 year. Just stop!
So either you may see animes you know and have seen, or possibly maybe get some nice recommendations of anime you haven't seen. There will be definite spoilers. I'll break it down in 4 segments. Segment 0 is anime I've watched entirely. Segment 1 will be anime I've seen partially. Segment 2 will be anime I watched but didn't know it was anime, aka anime I watched as a kid before I knew what anime was. And then segment 3 will be my anime watch list, or ones that I haven't seen that I plan on watching, hopefully in the near future. Lastly, before getting started, I am a person who loves to watch something from start to end without interruption. Not meaning I don't take time between episodes, but in the sense I watch one anime at a time typically, and would prefer that if an anime is still airing new episodes on a weekly basis, I'll just take a break from it till the season is completely released, so I can see it from start to end without having to wait for the next episode to drop. Meaning I'm a binge watcher. I'll binge one show till I reach its conclusion if possible, so I can get the most cohesive experience with that show I am watching and its story. So after a few short comments on the show I am mentioning, I'll be stating whether it's definitely binge worthy or not. For those like me who would like recommendations of shows that fit that criteria, and at least for the animes I have watched, I'll try to state some of my favorite characters other than the MC as well. Now enough with the idle chatter, let's get talking anime. Soul Eater. My first ever actual anime in the sense I chose to watch it and actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end with the intention of, I want to watch an anime, when I was about 15 years old. So it holds a close spot in my heart. It's only like 56 or so episodes, but it's amazing and deserves a remake or continuation with the manga. From its unique art style, to its diverse characters, to its interesting world, its funky music, and everything in between. I love the hell out of this anime. A fun side note is my channel OC is inspired by Soul Evans from Soul Eater. If you look at my channel art, the Scythe is holding a soul in his scythe form, I'm holding a Kishin egg in the other hand, and the sharp teeth smile is also a trademark of his I just like.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Just so we're clear, Maka. This guy's turning himself into a weapon. He's the same as me that way. Of course, I look a lot cooler in my human form than he does.
Definitely worth a few days of binging it. Side note, yes, I've seen Soul Eater not, but personally didn't like it that much, and was sad to see a style change and not have our original main cast and setting from before. And kinda hope it isn't canon, not sure if it is, but in my brain it isn't.
But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
I wouldn't be able to choose a favorite character other than Soul Evans, because to be honest, I love the main cast all so much, they're all my favorites. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Another one kind of like Soul Eater, I watched early on, and it's not too long. It has not a huge following, but at least a cult following if anything. Being one of my favorite animes as well, its magic system of alchemy that everything must be an equal transaction is a dope concept. The two Elric brothers, Edward and Alphonse, are a great duo. I relate to their struggle of wanting to see someone they lost, as losing my father at 16 years old and my mother at 23 years old. I definitely felt that shit.
No, damn it! You won't take him too! Give him back! He's my brother! Take my leg! Take my arm! Take my heart! Anything you can have it! Just give it back! He's my little brother! He's all I have left!
How to deal with the sudden loss of your mother.
And the last highlight is the Nina episode to this day still pops into thought and ruins my day.
You fucking...
At least, your passing will be in peace.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you.
Not really ruin my day, but it's definitely a haunting episode. Definitely worth a few days of binging it. I really care for the Elric brothers, but Mustang and Scar would probably be my other favorite characters. if not talking about the main characters. Fire Force. Fire Force is another one of my all-time favorites I watched a few years ago when it first came out, relating to Shinra, the devil-grinned boy, a lot. From loss of family young, being alone a lot, an older sibling who really cares for his younger siblings and more, to even the fact that in tense situations where I'm getting stressed, I anxiously grin as a coping mechanism, and I've had people ask me while in serious situations why I'm smiling.
Why are you smiling?
Sir, apologies. When I'm nervous, my face compulsively tightens. That is, I tend to smile when I feel tense. My face.
And it can be a pain. Plus, Fire Force was made by the people who made Soul Eater, has great characters, awesome fight sequences, phenomenal animation, and more. Highly recommend, and with only a few seasons, it's totally bingeable. Shinra is another one of my favorite MCs, but I also really like Maki, Vulcan, Tagaru, aka Juggernaut, Stand on Business Benimaru, and the dude Ogon. Wolf's Rain. An underrated 30 or so episode older anime from the early 2000s, kind of in the Cowboy Bebop era of anime. I watched it a couple of years ago. It's got great music, its characters are interesting and really grow on you, and this anime, since it's one I would rather you watch and find out for yourself, it's that tragic in my opinion, kind of thing. But as I was gonna say, is that I bawled my eyes out for the last 5 or so episodes. Beautiful, surreal, heartbreaking, and fulfilling journey of an anime. Totally bingeable. The 4 members of the main squad are all technically the protagonists, I guess, other than Kiba, who gets a bit more of the spotlight, but Toboe is just too innocent and pure-hearted to forget. Highly recommend checking it out.
Definitely check it out.
Blue Exorcist. I saw it several years ago and need to rewatch it, but from what I do remember is the MC is pretty chill, it's a cool concept, and has good action. As you can tell, I like action-adventure anime typically. It fits the bill. With an orphan child who awakens to some cool powers, finding out he's the son of the devil pretty much, which is a neat concept, being like a cool anime adaptation of the Adam Sandler movie, Little Nicky.
Hey, Valerie! What is your problem? I'm sorry.
It only has 2 seasons, supposedly getting a 3rd in this new year, 2024, which is great. And it's totally bingeable. I can't remember many characters except for the MC, but I do remember relating to the MC's brother, who is more of the good kid who tries to follow rules and keep his angsty brother in line. Blood Blockade Battlefront. A definitely underrated anime as well, at least I don't see it talked about a lot, but it has been done for a good while now with being a complete story. It's interesting that the MC is unique and not like a lot of others in this style of anime, having a really unique power. As well as all of the powers in the show are all very different, interest-piquing, and thought out. It has cool action, I believe it had good music, and is in the Soul Eater, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood range of length, being around 60 episodes in a couple of seasons. Totally a bingeable anime. The MC of this show is just really enjoyable to watch throughout, but Bad Boy Zap and the man that runs the show, Klaus von Reinhardt, are my other favorites. Bungo Stray Dogs. An interesting anime about a detective agency of characters all with unique powers. It has mostly good characters, 2 in particular that may turn a lot of people off from the show because of the Sweet Home Alabama vibes it gives.
Got a sister who's the love of my life.
But if you watch it further on, you'll find out that the girl isn't technically his real sister, I guess, and is part of how the male character's powers work, is how I came to believe it works. The MC has a tragic past I can relate to, the action scenes are pretty cool, bad guys are pretty cool, and I definitely recommend giving it a shot. Only a few seasons, it's totally bingeable. I like Atsushi and his design a lot as the main character, but my other favorite characters would probably be Kyoka and the man of true integrity, Dappo. Parasite. A shorter anime with a start to finish story, an interesting concept about a parasite becoming fused with a high schooler's hand and eventually coming to coexist with each other. Kind of a sci-fi feel for its inspiration, but was definitely gritty and kind of tragic from what I remember. You may be seeing a pattern here.
Moving on.
It's definitely worth the watch with good visuals, unique story, and short length, but still being a complete experience. It is for sure a bingeable anime. The main character is really all I remember from this anime, but he was an interesting young man who definitely grew on me throughout watching it years ago. Dr. Stone, an original anime that's become pretty popular from what I've seen online, with an MC who is a mad genius that essentially with a handful of people from his time get put into stone forms for thousands of years to awake to a world practically untouched by mankind. There's some cool little trivia moments, has some good humor, and even though there's not a lot of action scenes compared to some other anime I've watched, the fights are still pretty good, if not at least interesting, how they might not even be a fight, but some weird thing the protagonist innovates scientifically on the spot to get out of something. Almost like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast moment, but in anime form. A cool show that's not too long and has a few seasons and more to come. It's totally worthy of the title bingeable. And as for my other favorite characters other than Senku the MC, I would probably say the two brothers Ginro and Kinro are very, very enjoyable. I love their dynamics, and they are the center of most of the comedic moments for sure. Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has great animations, action-packed fights, a variety of cool characters, demon slaying, and more. What else could you want? It can be a bit dark, but also has some very comical moments in it as well. I relate to Tanjiro's experiences in some ways, from being the eldest sibling, losing immediate family members, etc., and is definitely a show to make you awe and amazement at its fight scenes, cry your eyes out over tragic moments, to laughing at its comedic relief moments. Not too long, still ongoing with a lot of praise, and is totally bingeable. Tanjiro and Nezuko are a great main pair, but other than them, Inosuke, Shinjiro, and Genya are probably my other favorite characters. D. Grayman, an older anime that hasn't been running for a while and is beefy but not too long of a series. The story and world is very interesting and has a lot of cool themes and aesthetics. Monsters and cool magic system. The main character was pretty complex and enjoyable from what I remember. It's been quite a while since I watched it, but it's definitely one I don't hear about much and would consider underrated. It's just about bingeable. Alan is an enjoyable MC, but other characters I liked a lot were Yu, one of his fellow exorcists who kind of fills a rival role to Alan, the main character. Psychopaths, an anime set in a dystopian world following a new female detective and some of her associates from their detective or law enforcement agency. In the world, people can't commit crimes, and it's law enforcement's job to use a special piece of technology that can essentially read someone's mental stability and how likely they are to commit a crime. Once someone becomes mentally unstable and is apprehended, they are either jailed or executed or something along those lines. It's only like 2 seasons, so totally bingeable. And fun fact, me and my wife watched this series together, and it was right around when we got our now irreplaceable dog that we ended up naming Akane Tsunemori, or Kane for short, because of the female protagonist of this show.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Akane is a great female protag, and Shinya, her partner, essentially is a pretty slick dude that I would say is my other favorite character. Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is a cult classic that a lot of real anime enthusiasts such as myself love. Its magic system is interesting, its world is interesting, the story always keeps you on your toes. The fights and action are definitely up there in terms of how badass they are, and its characters, including the protagonist Gon, are all really enjoyable. Except for... let's not speak his name.
Don't look at me like that. It's really turning me on.
What?
Yeah.
That spirit. I just can't wait.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
It's about 130 episodes, so a bit longer, but is currently not running anymore and is totally bingeable. I wish it would come back, but understand if the creator isn't feeling it, then he's just not feeling it. Art like this can't be forced for sure. Gon is a dope MC, but other than him, Killua and Kurapika are both badass supporting characters. Plunderer. Plunderer, honestly, I don't remember a whole lot of it, as its plot was fairly complex, at least the fact that it's revolved around some kind of time travel stuff, and if I remember correctly, the plot gave me a Terminator kind of vibe.
I'll be back.
I do remember it had a lot of blood and action,
And a lot of boobs.
if that's your kind of thing. Not too long of an anime, so if you check it out and like it, it's totally bingeable. The MC Lick was pretty cool, kicks a lot of ass, but honestly, other than that, I can't remember the other characters super vividly. Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop, another true cult classic in anime by now, has a strong following even all these years later. Spike and the rest of the cast of characters are all great. The story is easy to follow and enjoy, but not at all dull. Has just a wild sci-fi aesthetic that also seems rooted in reality as well, and truly was a journey even in its short 20 or so episodes when I finally watched it a few years ago. One I'd consider one of the most bingeable animes around. Spike is an unforgettable protagonist, but Ein is the best boy of Cowboy Bebop, and we all know it. I'll see you later, Space Cowboy. Jujutsu Kaisen. As I'm writing the script for this video, I also have some more JJK stuff planned as I'm hyped for the second season to be over, so I can binge it as I normally would an anime season once it's done. And in the hype for it, I am really keeping my eye on it as an anime and been consuming a lot of content revolving around it. The main character Yuji stands on business like no other. It's dark and gritty, has some awesome fights. You get to see the good guys and bad guys equally jump each other instead of just the bad guys doing the jumping, so its ratio of good to bad guy jumpings are pretty even.
Gotcha, bitch.
Which is just another awesome thing this amazing anime has going for it. I'd go on and on, but currently the anime is finishing up its second season and is highly bingeable. Go watch it. Yuji is one of my favorite protagonists, but non-MC characters that are my favorite are Megumi, Nanami, Panda, and Nobara. My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is not really much I need to say about one of the biggest animes around right now. It's got superheroes in action, good fight scenes, wide variety of characters, a story that's really starting to kick off in the latest season, being number 6, and is getting up there in length. The Shima and Mina, and I totally would ship them together if I could.
Want to know a secret about Acid Man? I got the idea from your Unbreakable.
Nice.
Naruto. Naruto, maybe not a cult classic, but still a classic by today's standards. It definitely deserves its hype and its spot in the Anime Hall of Fame by this point. It's a pretty long anime between the original Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, but even today I'd consider it bingeable. My favorite characters are probably Kiba and Akamaru, Shikamaru, Hinata, Kankuro, and Zabuza. The Demon in the Snow episode broke me down for sure.
And you just toss him aside like he was nothing. A broken tool. Man, that's so wrong. So wrong!
You talk too much. Your words cut deep. Deeper than any blade.
And it's definitely the episode that solidified Naruto as an anime I wanted to watch entirely when I watched it. Rising of the Shield Hero. First season was great, set in a video game inspired fantasy world, following a character who starts below nothing to becoming a badass. The second season I started and just kind of fell off of it, but eventually we'll return and finish it up. But it's not too long, it's getting a new season this year I believe, and is totally bingeable. Beast Girl, Nafumi, and the MC make a good pair. One thing about this show is that it definitely has a lot of characters I think you're not meant to like.
Trash?
My name's not bitch!
It is now.
By the way, Malty often uses the alternate name Mine when she's adventuring. How about that?
Yeah, guess bitch needs an adventure name. How about whore?
Nice.
And if that's the case, like with the other hero characters, the sword hero, the bow hero, and the spear hero, then they definitely achieved that for sure. One Piece. One Piece, pretty much the longest anime of all time, not much to say on it, other than I have seen at least the first few hundred episodes a few years ago, and still just need to go back and commit when I have a long length of free time to try and push through it. I love its animations, art style, characters, world, and more. Just as a big commitment of an anime for sure, but if you're looking for something like that, it can definitely be bingeable. Luffy is a lovable MC, but his right hand Zoro is probably my next favorite. But if you want to know who the best boy is, it's the dog that protected his owner who passed away's shop in those first few episodes.
sorry. I apologize for attacking. I don't want any trouble.
There's no reason for you to apologize to me. Because of you, that dog will never get his treasure back. And now, because of that, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Sweetie, I'm coming for that booty.
Holy! Look at all this damage!
Megalobox, a really short dozen or so episode anime I started a long while ago. A few episodes and just forgot I was watching it, I guess. Definitely has an interesting concept and is one I want to return to about a boxer who just does that, box. Giving me an anime Rocky Balboa kind of feel. Totally bingeable though. I just have to carve out a day or so to push through it. Didn't watch enough of it for me to say I even have an opinion on any of the characters other than the MC seems interesting and fitting for the role of an MC of an anime about boxing. Noragami. Noragami, set in a more real world setting but with spirits, gods, and demons, the main character is trying to become a god. Like how in the Eastern and Asian cultures' mythology, they believe you can become a god through merit and praise, essentially rising to godhood on your own terms. It seems really cool, but for some odd reason, every time I go to watch it, something happens or just I have no idea really. I just get through like half of it, though it's only about a dozen episodes. It's a bingeable anime though, another case of I didn't watch enough to really have an opinion on other characters, but Noragami is a fun MC from what I remember. Radiant. Radiant is a few season long anime set in a pretty high fantasy world, following a kid who awakes to some kind of magic and is essentially like a hero or wizard of some kind. It has a nice charm to it. I just remember getting a good bit of the way through it and kind of forgot I was watching any anime at the time. Probably sidetracked by work, family, or another hobby, but
Surprise, motherfucker.
it is cool and absolutely bingeable. I really only remember the MC and his mentor, and it's been a long while. The MC though definitely has a very typical but still enjoyable adventure anime protagonist feel, and his mentor, I remember, was a zero tolerance for bullshit kind of person, which I can respect. The God of High School was one of the first anime I attempted to just watch normally as the episodes were releasing when the anime first came out, but since I watch dub if it's available and there isn't some absolutely atrocious voice acting, which at least all of these animes I'm listing I watched in dub, even if I watched the sub first like Demon Slayer that didn't get a dub for the first season for a good while after the sub. And let's just say I definitely lost track of following the new episodes dropping. It's about a dozen episodes and it is bingeable. I definitely want to rewatch it when I have the time.
I say for the 100th time.
The MC Jin was a total badass, and the fight scenes were top notch, though, is all I can remember at the moment. Dragon Ball Z. I've seen plenty of Dragon Ball Z stuff all over the place, and played many of the games, but never truly sat down and just watched episode to episode through any of its installments. I love the characters, universe, and its action, but not really sure where to even start with it, as it has many series all connected to the same anime, like Naruto Shippuden, but imagine Naruto did that shift about a dozen more times. Definitely one day we'll watch it if ever possible. It's an anime I don't know if I'd consider bingeable myself, but like One Piece, definitely is if you want a real long running anime, probably bingeable then. My favorite characters that I can remember are Piccolo, the Menace Kid Buu, and at least for design's sake, I like Trunks. Overlord. Another anime like Rising of the Shield Hero set in an MMO inspired game world where the main character this time around is super strong from the beginning, essentially being a max level in the game.
Look, there he is! Everyone hold!
Surprise, motherfucker.
He's targeting us! Prepare to charge! Scroll over him with your mouse cursors! And... right-click! What the? Oh, Jesus, he summoned Scorpion!
Fatality.
I personally prefer to see a character progress in power and stuff along with character development together throughout the story. So its concept is cool, but not really my cup of tea. Has great animations, a cool theme, good writing from what I can remember. But I got about through a bit more than half of it, then stopped watching. May revisit it in the future, but no guarantees. It's not too long and it's totally bingeable if that setup appeals to you. I just remember those two weird twins and the demon mistress woman who is the MC's right hand, I believe. And if you are on the internet and consume any bit of weeb media, you've probably seen her around as well. Fate/Zero essentially feels like if you bring video game characters into a world or call upon gods as if they are yours to command in some weird tournament thing where they have to defeat the others. I know there is other iterations to the /Zero series that I haven't seen, but it was good, not too long of an anime with a cool action and depictions of deities that was enjoyable. Could be bingeable. King Arthur taking the form of a woman named Artoria was an interesting aspect of it, and the animations I remember were really pretty. Black Clover. Another forerunner of modern anime being a shonen anime, it's definitely enjoyable, and I've watched at least up until probably the most recent season, at least 150 plus episodes of it. I like Asta, the Black Bulls, the world, the magic, action, and charm that it has. It's bingeable, and I plan on going back and catching up on it soon. Fairy Tail. Another now older anime that has been running for a long time. Not sure if it's finished at the moment, but I did attempt to watch it, got through a dozen or so episodes and just didn't continue. It's a longer anime that had a cool MC, style, and action in it. Definitely one I'm curious to watch, but not sure how much I would prioritize it at the moment, seeing how long my animes I need to finish list is. It seems like it could be bingeable though. Tokyo Ghoul has a cult following, a dark aesthetic of people who eat people, but had some interesting aspects to it. Just it's been a long while since I watched it, and I think I watched most of it, but haven't really looked into it a lot myself since I watched it originally. Definitely remember it not being too long though, and worthy of being considered bingeable. Bleach. Bleach for me is in the same spot that One Piece is, seeing it's really long, still getting new development, that I made an honest attempt a couple of years ago to watch it through. Got through at least a handful of seasons, but just kind of fell off watching it. Ichigo is a dope MC, the action was great, the Reapers and all that really interested me. Definitely one I just need to make a big commitment once I have a long stretch of time to just power through it. It's for sure in the bingeable category though. Pokemon. Not much I really need to say about Pokemon, but that I want to say is just other than I've been following the games and shows since I was a kid. I have fallen off keeping up with it since Sword and Shield game-wise and stopped watching the anime before Sun and Moon came out, but it holds a dear place in my heart for sure. I even have 3 Pokemon tattoos, that being a Zangoose tattoo on my chest, a Houndour tattoo on my forearm, and a Pokeball tattoo at the base of my neck or top of my back. Gotta catch them all.
We need to have a serious discussion about the type of Pokemon you've been catching lately.
Yeah, boy. Elaborate.
Alright, so this one right here, this one's just a straight up man.
No, he has a tail.
Gotta be the best that no one ever was. Beyblades. Beyblades, let it rip.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
I remember watching tons of it as a kid, but haven't seen it in probably nearly 2 decades. It was a cool concept, I enjoyed its charm, played with Beyblade toys as a kid with other people like my little brother, and even though it's long gone from my conscious, the memories are still there for it. Digimon. I'm just ahead now.
Hello there.
I played a couple of the games that were enjoyable, and as a kid I watched the original series of it. Even a few years ago I saw it was on Hulu and went and watched it back through again. The original adventure series of it. I believe it was around 20-30 episodes, definitely a fun series, and I would say Gabumon and Vmon are my favorite Digimon. Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen the original series and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, which was my personal favorite, and I have seen bits and pieces of the later series over the years, but never gone back and just watched it for a long time. I played with the cards as a kid, at least until Pokemon cards came into the picture, and it's a series I remember fondly. Inuyasha. This show definitely isn't targeted to young grade schoolers, but was one show kind of like Dragon Ball Z, but a little more adult that came on Toonami program that I wasn't exactly supposed to probably be watching.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ.
Or I had a family friend I'd see watching it and I would kind of watch it from out of the room because it looked really cool. But I did a few years ago, attempting to go back through it from start to end and got about a few hundred episodes in, and then a big shift in my life happened. A totally wicked anime I vow to finish one day. From an interesting, unique story, an enjoyable main crew and their dynamics together, and so much nostalgia. But a fun fact, I have a ferret named Yasha after Inuyasha, as I got him right around the time I was actually attempting to make the journey through the Inuyasha series. It's what I'd call bingeable. And not sure because I never finished it, but if I could, I would totally ship Inuyasha and Kagome together. One Punch Man. I know.
You son of a bitch!
It's kind of the same reason I was turned away from Overlord, is I just prefer seeing someone go from bottom to top with all the struggles and growth being over time. But one day I will definitely check it out. Seems it will be bingeable. Attack on Titan. Alright, please don't burn down my house. I know I should have watched it by now, as much as I am into anime, but just never truly taken the chance to. But I did recently figure out that it actually had a really long release period for some of its stuff, and I guess it's a good thing I can just go back and watch all the seasons back to back as I normally would. So it's definitely up there. I know a lot about it, its characters, world, and story and stuff, but just need to go watch it. Seems very worthy of being bingeable in my near future. And the opening theme of the final season is such a sick track I've heard before now. But it's so good I just had to throw it on in the background. Chainsaw Man. Seems like a badass, edgy action anime with loads of blood and a lot of grit. Sounds like it would be right up my alley. Just need to take the time to go watch it. I know it has a cult following from what I've seen online and videos of people at anime conventions. There's always like a million of those people cosplaying as the girl with the little horns. But I don't believe it's too long and it seems bingeable. I just have to go do so. Like with many others. This anime is just like with many others. If you would suggest I move it up my priority list, share below your thoughts and suggestions on why I should watch it sooner than the other ones. Mob Psycho 100. Yet again another anime that seems really interesting. I've seen tons of stuff about it online and pretty sure it's not too long. The MC seems to deal with a lot of bad things, as I've seen that one scene of him getting bullied pretty hardcore.
Stop! This needs to stop! Now! Do it!
And other than that, I've seen AMVs and still images, some of its music while looking for a track to use while talking about it, which the Season 2 outro song slaps, to be honest. Not much that I could really say more about it other than I'd like to watch it. It's probably bingeable. Assassination Classroom. Now with the 41st anime on this list, and my brain is starting to become sloshed from writing the script all afternoon and night, and then the following day, today, I have been spending like the last 5 or 6 hours talking nonstop. So, with a bit of sleep deprivation kicking in.
Hell no, you can't go to the bathroom. You know where you can go? To sleep. Close your eyes, cut the crap, sleep. For real. Shut the up and sleep.
Are you okay?
I'm dying. Help me.
With that unneeded info out there, I like the theme of and goofy but edgy vibe this anime gives, as well as the whatever the teacher guy is. My guess would be he's some kind of alien. I think it's around 50 or so episodes and is an older anime by now that isn't getting more releases as far as I'm aware and is done for good. Seems like an anime I would enjoy and that it's bingeable. Just need to go check out more than some of the first episode to really gauge my true feelings on it. So this list and project became way bigger than I expected. But if you get the urge to create, I guess you get the urge to create. So here it all is, ViivviiX's complete anime compendium of all anime I've either seen, finished, been exposed to, or have planned on watching. There could possibly be just a few that slipped my mind, and I believe that is all of them. I appreciate any and all that stuck around. Hope you enjoyed my list, making content on one of my other passions. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed as well, please. Check out any of my other videos or video series playlists that pop up at the end screen of this video maybe. And till next time, my fellow weebs and anime enjoyers, take care and stay cool.